Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. I'm Raymond, and in this video I'm taking a look at some game topper accessories, because I've already done a review video of my game topper itself and a lot of the accessories that you can get with it. And I also did a recent video about all the gaming mats that they sell, and they have a whole lot, a big range of awesome mats with beautiful designs. So go check out that video as well. I'll put a link in the corner of this video and in the description as well. But game toppers have a whole bunch of other cool accessories that I haven't really touched on yet. So I thought I would make a nice little video highlighting those things as well. So I put some stuff on the table right here, and you've of course already seen the collapsible cup holders, which are great. You can collapse them. There's a acrylic cover for them, and you can put anything you want inside those. They're safe for the dishwasher, and they can click into the rails anywhere you want on your game topper. But other things that you haven't seen yet, at least not on my channel, are some of these things here. So let's start with this one. I like this one a lot. This is the portable mat caddy. So they come in two sizes, the 14-inch, and there's also a 24-inch one. And it's basically a thing you can hang on your door. Let me just take one of these bags off. So this is just a big piece of cloth. It's double, and it's nicely stitched and everything. It has a carrying handle on both ends. It has these eyes in here, so you can these rings, so you can hang it up. Because with this set, you get two of these hooks to hang it on a door. Well, like this, you hang that over your door, and then you have these two little hooks on the end, and you can hook those into those rings and just hanging on your door. And they also come with these smaller clips that you can put on the bottom of your mat caddy, where there's also these rings. So you can clip those in, and then clip in a second one and even a third one, so you can hang up to 12 of these bags on your door. And these are nice. These are pretty much the same as the big mat bags. Same quality, same sturdiness. They also have the little window here, so you can see which mat you've put inside here. They got the Game Toppers logo on the front, which is nice. And they got a carrying handle, so you can just, bring one. If you have these stuck with the Velcro, because there's Velcro on the back there, and you stuck those onto the caddy like that, and you hang that on your door, then if you need to grab a specific game that you want to bring with you to a game night somewhere, you can just rip off the bag you need and just carry it from the handle. Or if you want to take all of them, you just unclip this whole thing, and then you can take these two handles and just put that together with the Velcro like this, and then you can carry 4 of those together and bring those with you to game night. And I think that's pretty clever. Really nicely designed. So those are available as an additional accessory on the current Kickstarter, but also of course on their web shop. So here it is in action. I've put the 2 hooks over this door, and it'll fit nicely there. I've put one of these caddies on those hooks, so you got mats there, and I put some mats inside here. So if you just need one, you just rip that off. And you can either take this with you or just take the mat out and play it right here. And then when I hang it back, it's got the Velcro on the back here. I just put the handles back like this, and I just stick it on. And that's that. And if you have a second one or even a third one, you just take that. I put this handle back. I take these 2 rings in here and the clips in here. And then you can just clip that in like so. That's one. And here is the other. Bam, there you go. And now I have 2 hanging from the door. And that's pretty awesome. So what else do we have? We have these gaming totes. So there's 2 of these in black, a big one and a smaller one. So let's start with the small one here. They fold up really nicely, completely flat, as you can see here. So you can fold them up. They don't take any space. I just shove them into my shelf next to or on top of some other games. And basically you just fold them open. They look like these cooling bags, right? They have this silver inlay stuff. And you just fold them out. And there's this inside, which makes the bottom, makes it a bit more sturdy. So you put that in the bottom like so, right? And then you just have a very simple square bag that you can zip close like that with the Game Toppers logo on the top of that lid, and on the back here, or in the front, I should say, I guess. I'm not really sure. I don't think it has a back and a front. It just has these two handles. But one side of it has this pocket where you can put in books or smaller games or whatever. So that's pretty cool. So let's check just how much we can actually fit in here, because I did put some games here on the table. So let me just demonstrate. I got Deep Rock Galactic here, which is a really large box, a large game. So let's stuff that one in first. That goes in pretty easily. So there you go. It's inside. And this is a huge box, so this takes up pretty much all of the space. And you have to put it in sideways because the bottom here is kind of rectangular, and the box would be bigger than that. If I take this expansion and I put it next to it, you can see that it is taller, so that wouldn't work. But you can put it in sideways and it'll fit really nicely. And let's see if we can fit in an expansion. I don't think I'll be able to do that. No, that is going to be too much. But I can fit in a smaller game still in here. Kawale from Gezelschapsspel, which is a fun abstract game. Let's see if we can still stuff that in. And that will just fit inside. So, you know, you got a giant box and a reasonable, pretty normal, like Dominion sized box. That'll fit in here. And then you can just zip that up like so. And the zipper is really smooth, really nice as well. And then you can carry that to your game night, which is pretty awesome. So we also, of course, have a bigger bag, which is double the size. So let's take these out. So here's the other one, the double one. So let me fold that open. See here. And this one also, this is the top, also has this plastic sheet that you can put in the bottom for reinforcement. So let me just do that first. Now it's going to be a bit tight here in the frame because this is a big bag. All right. Let me see how much I can get in here. All right, so first of all, again, Deep Rock Galactic. Just gonna put that in flat. Boom. And shove that to one side, like so. That's in here. This might actually fit an expansion on top. This might be a little bit taller. Can I still close that? I can. So yeah, I can fit one of these big box expansions on top of that even, and still have room next to it for more. So that is pretty cool. Let's see what else I can stuff in here. A lot more than I have right here. So I got, let's try the Zombicide. Any core Zombicide box has this size, and that fits next to it without a problem. So two of those big boxes next to each other in here. Let's grab another bigger box here. The Ghosts Betwixt by Innocent Traveler Games. Boom, on top of that. Let's grab Kawale again. Boom, on top of that. And I still have room for another box of this size, as you can see here. See there, the height difference is plenty for another box of that size. So, and you know, you can always grab some smaller boxes. So I got Explorers of the Woodlands here, and you can see that it is pretty much the same height. This is still a little bit lower, so you can stuff it in with some more smaller games here. I think it can even fit Gloomhaven in here. Let's try it. That even fits in here, just together with all of these games. Still got Gloomhaven in there. which is pretty darn amazing. And there we go. Everything in that bag. Now this is going to be heavy, of course, if you fill it completely, but it's great to just throw in some games that you want to bring to a game night, carry it to your car, put it in the trunk of your car, and have everything safely in here. Or even if you're going to a board gaming convention, right, and you bought a bunch of games, one of these bags will help you out with that. So let me put that on the side for now. All right, and what else do they have? They also have this Game Hall tote bag, which is a bit of a deluxified version of their tote bags. And it comes in this ochre yellow color. It also folds up, like you see here, not as thin, because this is very safely padded. And that's pretty good. So you can just open that like this. And it has the flap right here, again with the Game Topper logo and some Velcro up here. It has a very sturdy carrying band here, sling that you can just put over your shoulder, with these heavy-duty hooks right here that you can unclip like so, but they're pretty thick, pretty sturdy. So you have these rings right here on either side. You just clip those in, clack, like that, and this turns. So you know, if your band, your strap here gets twisted around, it doesn't, you know, curl up or anything. You can just put this on your shoulder with a little bit of a padding here for your shoulder. And also a carrying strap right here that you can, of course, undo like this. And then you can just carry it in your hand, but I prefer carrying it over my shoulder. And this was also very handy at conventions if you just don't, you know, want to carry too much around. Fill this and that'll be just great. There's a flap that goes over that. So let's check out how much stuff I can cram in here. Let's go with the Deep Rock Galactic game again, because that is a nice and big box that will give you a nice impression. Again, huge box. Just stuff that in here. Yeah, there we go. And that will just fit. I hope I can still close the zipper. I just have to move it around, but yeah, I can manage. I can manage that. That just closes, so that's pretty good. And it zips up, you know, on both sides. It zips upward. So there's two zippers here. There's nothing on top, right? There's no zipper here. But you take this flap and you flap it over and push it onto the Velcro so that it is closed. And yeah, and then you can then carry it either by the shoulder strap or the hand straps. It has a zipper on the side here, so you can unzip that, and you can put in some books, manuals, whatever, maybe some snacks. And on the other side, there's a pocket as well with just there's a bit of a stretchy band here, which is nice, as you can see right there, an elastic band, and it folds out a bit, so there's a bit of extra cloth in the side here that will allow the pockets to widen a bit if you want to put in a bottle. So on this side you could put in a bottle of water or something else, or whatever you want, some smaller card games. So that's pretty cool as well. So you have options there. And what else can we fit in here? So after Deep Rock Galactic, there was still some room left there. Maybe even, well, I don't think the expansion will fit. I'll grab this game. That was my second biggest box after the Koala game. So yeah, that fits. So there you go. Again, one giant box and one pretty big game box, like Dominion sized box. And that goes in here, and then you just zip that up, and then you flap that over, and you can carry that. So that is also pretty good. I like it. This is very nicely padded, very sturdy, keeps your game safe. And I've used this at conventions, so this is pretty good. Really like this bag. The other ones are fine, but are more like, you know, for carrying them around for a bit, putting them in your car. I wouldn't travel too much with those because they're pretty thin, but these are really nice and sturdy, and I would easily carry, you know, whatever games I want to put in here over my shoulder while going to a convention or whatever. So this is a really nice bag. Another thing, an accessory that I really like from Game Toppers are these elbow pads, basically. If you have the aluminium rails and you're like me and you often wear shirts with short sleeves and you rest your arms on this, and it might be winter, it might be a bit cold, and you're thinking, well, this is a bit cold to the touch right now. It does warm up really quickly because it's aluminium, and that just conducts heat very easily. So it'll feel cold for a bit, and then it'll adapt to your body temperature pretty much. But you do have options, and that's these cool little pads that this is the fantasy one, and they have 4 different ones in a set, which basically tell a story, like you're reading a book, a fantasy adventure that happens on these 4 different panels. Here's another one with a dragon on it, so this is the end of the story, spoilers. But you put these on here and then you can just rest your arms on that, which makes it a little bit more comfortable. I just really like looking at them, really. But yeah, that's something they have in their web shop. I don't think I've seen them on the current Kickstarter, because they wanted to keep things a bit simpler this time around. But that is something that Game Toppers have. And another thing I also liked is not just a mat you put in your Game Topper, but this game mat. This is the Galactic Deck Builder mat. And as you can see, it comes in its own bag with a window, just like we're used to, with the Game Toppers logo on it and the carrying straps, all of that goodness, even little straps on the end here, just like all the other bags on both ends, actually. So you can also hang them up on those straps if you prefer. And then you just zip it open, and they have this mat. And I briefly showed it in my mat video, where I rolled out all of the mats that I have on the Game Topper here. I did roll this one out quickly at the end of that video, but I wanted to give this a bit more showtime, a bit more spotlight, because this is a really nice mat. It's pretty big. It is made of that same 3.6 millimeter neoprene, which is a bit stretchy, so you can pull this and it won't deform. It's got this rubber backing, so it won't slip on your table, and it's nice, and there's this stitched kind of pattern in the rubber. I don't know how they make that, but it looks really nice. And then the edges are double stitched, so it won't fray. And yeah, the top vinyl is just really lovely. It has this kind of a bit of a sheen to it, like all the other mats do as well, which catches the light really nicely. But yeah, you've got like a red side and a blue side for your deck building games. And in the middle, you have the part where you put the general supply of cards, right? So you can put your draw deck on either side, and you've got a discard pile, and you've got the market in the middle. So that's pretty cool. And then on your end, or on either end, you have a spot for your draw pile, your discard pile on both sides. So you can even play a 4-player game on this when you're sitting on either side of this mat. And then in the middle, you have a space, or on your side in the middle, for playing your cards and putting cards down that stay on the table. You know, different kinds of deck builders, of course, and this mat feels like it can handle them all, really. So that's pretty cool. I really like this, and it's nice, the same good quality that we're used to from all the Game Topper mats. So what else do we have? Game Toppers also have these dice towers, which I also showed off in my Game Topper review, but they're just really nice. This is basically a component tray that sits on your rail. Let me just carefully take that out without tossing all those dice around. So you have these little legs here in the bottom that you can just take out. So you get 2 of those, you pop those in, and then this hooks around the edge of the table, starts on the outside here, and then you do this, and it sits here, and you can move that around, and even across the connecting cleats here, where the seam is, of course. And yeah, you can put that on your rail, and it's HDP plastic as well, so it won't scratch. And that's pretty nice. So you can put all kinds of components in here. But then if you take the dice tower, you can put that on top of there, and now you have a nice dice tower with a nice clickety-clackety sound. So I'm really liking that as well. So that's a thing, an accessory I really like. They even have this cool looking game topper top hat mouse pad, which I just use to put on my table whenever I shoot a video, just to let people know that I am in fact sitting at a game topper. And I'm not being sponsored to do this. I haven't even mentioned that. I'm not getting paid for these videos. I'm just doing this because I really like their product, and this one is on my table every time I shoot a video here. And I put a link in the description as well because I want people to know about this product. And what else do they have? They have this cool metal coin that backers usually get for getting a game topper. He throws in one of these as a kind of a loyalty token. It's a really big, heavy metal coin. It's like a brass kind of metal, which has the game topper logo on one side, which looks really nice, and a natural 20, D20 on the other side. So that's really cool. It's a really big, sturdy, you know, it's a heavy, weighty coin, medallion even. So you can use that to, you know, toss heads or tails or whatever, but it's just a fun, nice thing to have. It's a nice fidget toy as well, really. It just feels good. Nice big. So yeah, I got that one with my game topper as well. And we also have this really nice looking turntable. A turntable, or a lazy Susan if you will, in the shape of course of the top hat, once again with all these spaces for your components. There are spaces in the middle for cards, which have these grooves in the bottom, so you can easily flip them out by just pushing down on your stack of cards and they will flip up. There is a groove in the middle here for dice. You know, you can put your D6s in there or any other dice. And there's some trays on the outside, trays on the top for smaller components here, and all of these for your resources and whatnot. And you kind of just stick this Lazy Susan rotation device on the bottom, and then you just, yeah, you can put it down and it turns really well. So that's a pretty cool thing. And if you don't have that much space on your table because you're playing a big game, you don't want to put this right in the center because it takes up a lot of space, you can also just put it on the rail or in the corner. And you just usually put it in the corner because then it has two struts that I can sit on, and that is a bit more stable. But it, you know, that's a pretty fun thing to have. And on the current Kickstarter, you can still get this. And we've even unlocked a stretch goal where this is discounted $15 off. So that's pretty good. So check that out as well. This cool Lazy Susan. And lastly, there's the Game Toppers enamel pin that I have here on my vest of pins. And yeah, another fun little thing that you can get from Berkey. I got this one for, of course, for helping out at the booth at I think it was the UK Games Expo last year, and that's really good. So I put that on my vest as well. It's just a fun little thing to grab if you're a fan of game toppers like I am. All right, so those were some additional accessories from Game Toppers that you can add to your pledge in the pledge manager of the current Kickstarter, or just check out their web shop. Especially if you're in the States, you can just order stuff directly and have it shipped to your house pretty quickly. But if you're in the rest of the world and you want to take advantage of the current savings that Berkey has on his 5.0 Kickstarter, check that out. I'll put a link in the description below for that as well, so you can go and watch and see what else that he has to offer. The Game Toppers are excellent. They're at an all-time low price. Shipping is halved. If you're living in Europe, then shipping is half of what it used to be. So that's that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below, or the Patreon icon at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.